Okay, this is part 2 of previous video, National Cultural Variables. National cultural variables refer to the unique characteristics that shape a country's cultural identity. These variables can have a profound impact on how businesses and individuals interact across borders. First variable is education. Number 1, curriculum. The content and teaching methods reflect a country's value and learning preferences. Number 2, access and equity. Educational opportunities can vary widely based on socioeconomic status, gender, and other cultural factors. Third one is lifelong learning. Some cultures place a higher emphasis on continuous skill development throughout one's career. Laws and regulations. Legal framework. A country's legal system is shaped by cultural norms, historical precedents, and societal priorities. Number 2, contrast enforcement. The importance placed on following formal agreements versus informal understanding differs between nations. Intellectual property. Attitudes towards intellectual property rights can vary significantly across cultures. Last one is dispute resolution. Cultural preferences for mediation or other conflict resolution methods influence legal practices. Economics. Number 1, economic systems. Capitalist and socialist and mixed economic models reflect a nation's culture, values, and priorities. Number 2, financial structure. Banking, investment, and trading practices are shaped by cultural norms and historical experiences. Number 3 is customer behavior. Culture factors influence spending patterns, brand preferences, and attitudes towards debt and savings. Politics. Number 1 is government structure. The distribution of power and decision-making processes reflect a country's culture and historical traditions. Rule of law. The balance between individual rights and collective interests shapes a nation's legal and political systems. Political participation. Levels of civic engagement and the role of individuals in the political process vary across cultures. Foreign relations. A country's diplomatic approach and interactions with other nations are influenced by its cultural identity. Social norms. Number 1, family structure. Number 2, gender roles. Number 3, interpersonal communication. Number 4, etiquettes and customs. Number 5, time orientation. Last variable is religion. Number 1, spiritual beliefs. The dominant religious or spiritual traditions of a country shape its culture, identity, and values. Number 2, rituals and ceremonies. Religious practices and observance are deeply ingrained in a nation's culture traditions. Number 3, moral and ethical frameworks. Religious teachings can influence a country's legal system, social norms, and attitude towards business.